Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, so we are going to get started. Thank you guys for being on this morning. I hope you're having a good week. I actually ended with a really good day yesterday. I've determined that if I do some sort of like a walk or some sort of wind down at the end of the day, it gets me in a better place. So that's what I've been working to do. Oh, good morning. I see Jenny Mattiok on. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Oh, and I hear Shelby too. That would be her puppy. Okay, guys, so let's start with something that you are grateful for today. I've really been focusing on gratefuls. And man, they do put you in such a much better mind space. And you guys are going to laugh at mine, and I'm going to show it to you. And actually, this is so funny, and I'm interested to see if anybody else has watched this yet. But you guys go ahead and type in the chat box something that you're specifically grateful for today. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you, I am specifically grateful for a very mindless, kind of mindless. I don't know. I feel like I play along when I watch, but mindless TV show that I used to watch all the time when I was growing up. That is back on Netflix. Has anybody watched or seen Supermarket Sweep is back on Netflix? I'm like a kid in a candy store. Adam has been making so much fun of me, you guys. And then this is so funny. And so then last night I'm texting with Blair, my close friend / partner in crime on everything. I don't know, she might be on this morning. And she's getting ready to have a baby. She's on bed rest. She's getting ready to have a baby like any single day. And so she texted me last night at like, I don't know, 10 something, and said she couldn't sleep. And she said, I guess I'm just going to stay up all night watching Supermarket Sweep. And I said, oh my gosh, you're lying. I've been watching it every night in the middle of the night when I can't sleep or before I go to bed. I feel like I'm a kid again. And she said, oh my gosh. And she sent me a picture, and she was watching it last night. And she said, I just keep thinking you and I would just totally run that. We would crush it. I'm like, yes, they need to bring back Supermarket Sweep. So I am grateful, super funny grateful today. I'm grateful for a lot of really serious things too. But I am very grateful for a mindless show like this. Oh, Josh, today's your son's first birthday. That's fun. Happy birthday. Yes, Jen, you have to watch. Josh, I can't believe you haven't watched it yet. I mean, it is hilarious. We've been watching all the episodes of Alone. Oh, Pam, I haven't watched that yet. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Okay, my school district pushing back the start time for students so teachers can prepare for the new norm. Okay, so yeah, they haven't called off school yet. I saw in LA they called off school for the fall. So it'll be interesting to kind of watch. Oh, Monica said yes to Alone. Okay, well, I've got to add that to my list then. I go from like Supermarket Sweep to Ozark to cartel ones to like church ones. So I'm all over the place. Oh, Alone. Troy, why have you not told me about that? We always share shows. Okay, so I'll have to add that to my list. Anyway, so if you guys need something mindless, you should check out Supermarket Sweep. Plus, it's just comical to watch what people as hairdos were like back then. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and today, oh Dawn, I'm so glad about your dad. Nothing serious. I'm so glad to hear that. Today we're gonna get started, and I listened to a podcast that John Maxwell just did on lessons that he put together from watching The Last Dance. Have you guys watched The Last Dance? Type it in the chat if you have or if you haven't. That's gonna be part of your homework for this week to watch. So I want to go over and share with you some of the things that John Maxwell shared. And honestly, I know, Troy, you have, because we've talked about it very, really, yes, so good. So this is great. For those of you that have watched, you're going to like this even more, because John put together what he took away from watching The Last Dance. And I just thought, oh my gosh, these are such good lessons. So a couple of things. He started off by saying, experience is not the best teacher. So sometimes we think that because we have experienced something that it makes us a really good teacher. But John said if this were true, everyone would get better as they get older. Evaluated experience is the best teacher. many people don't learn lessons from their experiences because they don't evaluate them. So they may have a lesson, but quite frankly, they may not evaluate it. And so they may not really learn anything from it. And so he said that while I love that I learned this from John, but while watching The Last Dance, he took notes because he wanted to learn from those experiences of Michael Jordan, just like some of you guys laughed when I took 13 pages of notes from Garth Brooks, but we can learn from those experiences. So here are, I think there's 6 lessons that John shared around this. So the first lesson was Michael's success was greater than his talent. And here's just a few notes that I took from John. Michael was the greatest of all time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are few, not many, but few players over history that were honestly probably as talented as Michael was. He was at the top of the talent pool, but his success went so far beyond his talent. And John says, no matter how talented you are, you have to make the right choices. So Michael was talent, don't get us wrong, and he made really great choices, and his success was so much greater than his talent. John always talks about great talent plus great choices equals a talent plus person. He also calls that being at the peak of the ladder. He talked about, he had all of you Ohio State fans, he talked about Coach Tressel a lot in here. And he said that Coach Tressel came to John and said that he taught a lot from his teachings. John wrote a book called Beyond Talent, and I'm going to share that with you in a second. But he talked about the things that came out of that book about what really created talented people and talented players and all of those things. And John says, the best is only for the moment. Your best can actually always be improved. Your best is your floor for your tomorrow. Michael didn't rest on the best. He didn't win one championship and stop. And leaders need to stay out in front. Michael always stayed out in front of his players. And I love John says, this is what leading is. He always says it like that. He said, when you're doing that, you're out in front. And so Michael made sure that he was always going to be the leader by being out in front. And so I added this in here. So they've actually retitled John's book. I can't remember what the old title was. And it has a new cover, and it's kind of newer now, but it's called Beyond Talent, become someone who gets extraordinary results. And he talks about 13 traits or qualities, if you will, that talented people have. And so they have a belief. Belief lifts your talents. They have passion. Passion energizes your talent. They take initiative. Initiative activates your talent. Focus, it directs your talent. Preparation positions your talent. Practice sharpens your talent. Perseverance sustains your talent. Courage actually tests your talent. Teachability expands your talent. Character protects your talent. Relationships influence your talent. Responsibilities strengthen your talent. And teamwork multiplies your talent. And so John said, he went through this list and he said, I'm going to highlight the ones that he really felt like Michael Jordan kind of talked about and or portrayed in his career and in The Last Dance. And those were passion, initiative, focus, preparation, practice, perseverance, courage, responsibility, and teamwork. And he said 8 of the 13 qualities were visibly shown in Michael Jordan. Now, I mean, I really kind of felt like all of them were, but these, I guess, were the main ones, right, that were actually showcased, in, oh, wait, sorry, I'm just now checking the chat. Started David Foster last night. So good. Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry to squirrel, but wasn't that really good? Like I said, some things about David Foster are like, not super sure if his values align with mine. However, he's incredibly talented, speaking of talent. And actually, if you even go back and look at David Foster, man, all of these he had too. It's just you see these qualities over and over and over again. So the second lesson that John pulled from The Last Dance is the margin between winning and losing is small. And here's what he talks about. It's very small between winning and losing, but it's very significant. And he always asks the question, if you knew how close you were to succeeding, you would be, actually, this is not a question, this is a statement. If you knew how close you were to succeeding, you would be greatly encouraged, because this is the question. How do you really know when you give up on something or when you're thinking about giving up, if you're on the 5-yard line or the 50-yard line? I ask myself that all the time, to be honest. And this is, when you think about Michael Jordan, he talks about the edge that he had. His passion for winning was obviously a part of it, but the edge he had on winning was he was consistent to keep it. He never wanted to lose the winning. He didn't really know how close he was each time, so he wanted to stay. And John always talks about when he does business coaching, I put this in here to remember to tell you guys, when he does business coaching, no matter what type of role you are in your life or in your career, he always says, if you want to be successful, get in the top 10%. So if you want to run a successful restaurant in your town, you got to get in the top percent of the top restaurants in your town. But if you want to be super successful, you have to get in the top 1%. And that's why you always hear the coined term 1%ers. Because if you want to be super successful, you have to get yourself or your business or your company or your team in that top 1%. And you kind of have to do the stair step. John's always talks about that you got to get in the top 10% and then you got to get in the top 1%. But people want respect more than approval. And so Michael pressed and pushed his people. The greatest hindrance to tomorrow's success is today's success. John always talks about that. A lot of times people won't think about tomorrow's success because they either stop at today or they can't get through today. Number 3 lesson that John took away from the last dance is mental toughness is the core of a champion. As strong as his body was, his mind was even stronger. Winning is an inside job. And that's why I love so much that you guys continuously show up to this. And honestly, it's great for me to selfishly because it keeps my mind in such a good place. Because winning is an inside job. It's all the work that you did on the inside of yourself first and on your mind. And John talks about how, and Michael Jordan talks about this at one point. I can't remember what part it is in The Last Dance, but he talks about how he went and gained 15 pounds of muscle. Do you guys remember that? And literally his body was so strong. Like he just was hard and strong. But John says, don't look at that. Look at how strong his mind was because his mind was even stronger. And so Coach John Wooden was actually the #1 mentor in John Maxwell's life. And so John Maxwell talks about Coach Wooden all the time. I rarely listen to anything that John ever puts out that he doesn't talk about Coach Wooden. And he said that one time he interviewed him after he retired and he said, what do you miss the most? And John said, I thought he was going to say he missed the games. But Coach Wooden said it wasn't the games that he missed, it was the practices that he missed because he knew that if a practice went really, really, really well, then they were going to win the game. And he said it was all about the practice. It was all about the work that they were doing on the inside. And he always coached around talent and around mindset because if he could get them to be mentally tough, then he knew that they were going to be champions. Number 4, the 4th lesson that John, hold on. Do I have my slide in there twice? Quite possibly. Here we go. Number 4, losing greatness is usually an inside job. And I thought, oh man, this is so good. When you go from a champion to not a champion, it's usually because you took it away from yourself. John's greatest challenge is leading himself. So John says that he always, I've actually been in a room with him before where he's gotten a question where people will say always, what's your biggest challenge? John, I feel like you're the highest inspirational coach and leadership coach that there is out there. What challenges you? And John's answer always is leading myself. He said, it's always easy for me to tell you guys what to do and to give you guys advice. But the real issue and the real challenge is it's much more difficult to lead yourself. And he always says this funny thing, if you could kick the person responsible for all your problems, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week. And I love that because typically it always is us. And the #1 reason why that happens is because we let ego get in your head or we let it get in our way of things. And actually, I don't have this on here, but I'm just now remembering something that Adam told me this week. I'm trying to think of, he interviewed someone on his podcast and they had an acronym for ego that I had never heard before. And it was edging God out. Have you guys heard that? I'd never heard that before. Okay, Amy's heard it. I never heard that. I thought that was so good. Edging God out was his acronym for ego. And I loved that. I just thought that was really, really good. His #5 lesson was be the example so you can say, follow me. So a lot of times we want people to follow us, whether it's our kids or our peers or our team members or people that we lead around us. But Michael Jordan's standard for the players wasn't anything that he didn't have for himself. It wasn't anything that he didn't do for himself. And John always says, do you want to do what I have done to do what I'm doing now? That's kind of a tongue twister. Do you want to do what I have done to get what I'm doing now? And it's interesting. I don't know if you guys ever feel like this, but I have before seen somebody and thought, man, I really want to do what they're doing. I really want to get to that spot. And sometimes I think we miss thinking, what have they done this whole entire time to get there? How many years have they worked? How long has it taken them to actually get to where they are now? And so when people say, John actually tells the story on his podcast that he was teaching a big seminar, and he said that a young guy came up to him and said, John, I feel like I can do what you're doing. I want to do what you are doing. And John said, I think that is awesome, and I have no doubt that you will. But do you want to do what I have done to do what I'm doing now? Do you want to get up every single morning, and do you want to do the 5 things that I do every single day? Do you want to commit to writing 100+ books and changing people's lives and doing all of the habits that John has done? And so I just think I really like that one. You have to be the example so you can say, follow me. And then the 6th lesson is, 1 is too small of a number to achieve greatness. And this one made me think for a minute. It's always about the team, the people around you, no matter what you are doing. I've had so many conversations over the last 2 weeks around the subject of the people that I'm in business with, or the people that are around me. And at the end of the day, actually, I can just think of so many examples that are popping in my head right now. At the end of the day, the people you are surrounded with, that's your ceiling. That's who you are, whether it's the people in your company, whether it's the people on your team, whether it's the people who mentor you or who lead you. Those closest to you determine the level of your success. And sometimes those people disappoint you and they let you down. And here's the thing though, you have to choose to do things that are going to pull you out of that, and surround yourself with the people who are on your level of success and who are going to get you to where you want to go. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a super easy fan of change. Change doesn't come easy for me. I have to really, really, really work at change, even little tiny changes. Like my coach Terry always will say to me, okay, let's baby step and walk out of, if you're going to do this change, how are you going to feel comfortable? And I've never been good at change. I don't really know why. I don't think I was good at change even when I was a kid. My brother and I joked that we've lived in 20 or 30 different houses our whole lives. So we've changed a lot. And I don't know what makes people better at change than others. And I am not good at change. So this one, to me, I think you have to really think about changing the people that are around you if you're not getting the success that you want, because that's going to be your ceiling. 1 is too small of a number to achieve greatness, and you can't do it alone. You have to have people around you to be able to be successful. And I know tons of you have teams and are on teams and lead teams, and I think you would agree, you can't do it by yourself. And actually, Gary Keller always says that sometimes you, as high drivers, high achievers, you can walk around just mad all the time and just pissed off and feeling like you're upset and you're mad all the time. And the reason most of the time is because you feel like you're pulling all of the people around you. You're pulling people uphill. Instead of great people around you should push you. They should be pushing you to do really, really great things. So I loved all 6 of those lessons. And here is going to be your homework. I got to talk about this too. Actually, let me back up. Your homework for last week was to get signed up for the Super Attractor Book Club. However, I had internet website technical difficulties, and so it just launched last night. So if you want to, I know some of you have already signed up, but I'm super excited. Yay, Teresa, awesome. Okay, you can go to, actually, do I have a slide on that? Yep. You can go to danagentry.com/book club to register. And there is a charge because I'm going to do a bunch of swag and worksheets and all kinds of stuff that are costing to put together. So I would love for you guys to join. It's going to be every Thursday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. starting July the 23rd. And we did a poll, and evenings seem to be really best for everybody. When you register, though, you will get all of the recordings for them, just FYI. And that way, if you have to miss one, then you will you'll get the recording. But I'm super excited about this, and I cannot wait. This book has been, oh my gosh, like life changing. I know so many of you have messaged and texted me about it, so would love for you to be. Oh, Rochelle, was that your son? Oh, so cute. I just saw him pop up. So I would love for you guys to register for that. So even though that was your homework for last week, sorry about the delay, but it is ready now. And then your homework for this week is to watch The Last Dance if you haven't already. Actually, let's see, Heather, would you be able to post the link in the chat for them to sign up just so people could click on it? Pretty, please. Thank you, thank you. Caitlin, yay, thank you. Yes, Stephanie, the book is available on Amazon. You'll get it really quick. Most people's have come in like 2 days. Oh, thank you, thank you. There's the link for the book. And then we'll post the link to join the book club too. So homework for this week, watch The Last Dance if you haven't. And then I would encourage you, even if you've watched that, to go listen to John Maxwell's podcast. I think it was 3 episodes ago. And it's Leadership When It Matters Most. And it's entitled Michael Jordan's Last Dance Leadership Lessons. And come with your takeaways from that. I know that I give you guys a lot. And okay, The Last Dance is on Netflix, I believe. Was it on Netflix? I think it was on Netflix. I watched so many different things. Yeah, I think it's Netflix. There we go. There's the book club link. Thank you. So Whitney, yes, I believe it's on Netflix. This is so funny. This is a funny squirrel. We have Hulu, but it's not our Hulu. At some point in time, we were on vacation in Florida, and the person whose house we were staying in gave us their Netflix or their Hulu login. And so, oh, it's on ESPN. Wait, is it on ESPN Netflix or ESPN? Troy, will you unmute? I can't remember. No.
It's not on Netflix at all.
Wait, you just came. What'd you say? It's not on Netflix?
No, it's you have to either go to the ESPN app.
Okay. Okay.
Or,
yeah, I couldn't remember. I thought it was something different.
Dana, I think we watched it through the YouTube TV.
Okay, that's what it was, Caitlin. I was trying to remember. Thank you. Yes. Okay, you can also go to YouTube TV and watch it. Yeah, Josh said it's on ESPN.
Isn't on the public. Like, we can't see the link. I think Heather just sent it to you, Dana.
Oh, okay. Host everyone in waiting room. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why that's doing that. Okay, hold on.
There it is. That's the Amazon link. Yeah.
Okay, yep. And here, okay, thanks, Steph. Let me see.
You're welcome. There it is.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so maybe Google The Last Dance if you don't have the ESPN app. I'm sure you can find it, and I know it is. Caitlin's right. We did watch it on YouTube TV. And then don't forget, if you missed one of these, several of you have messaged and asked. All of these are being posted on my YouTube channel. You can go there and find them too. So ended a little early today. Thank you guys for being on. Does anyone want to share an aha or a thought or anything in the chat? Or are you guys having a good week? How's your mindset? I struggled last week. I'll be honest. I had a struggling week last week, and it crept into this week too. But yesterday I kind of got it back together. So the affirmations, man, from Gabrielle Bernstein are so good. So good. So, oh man, Teresa, I forgot about Jeff Brewers in ICU. Yeah, that's a local agent in Lexington with COVID. So yeah, prayers for him. Okay, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your week. And I will hopefully see you in the book club and in the Facebook group. Think up affirmations. Oh, thanks, Josh. I'm going to do that right now. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Have a great week. Thanks for being on. See you later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Monica.